Police in Belarus say they arrested over 1,000 people in a third night of violence over Sunday's disputed presidential election. The incumbent, Alexander Lukashenko, claims to have won more than 80% of the votes to win a sixth term in office. His opponent, Svetlana Tikhanovskaya, fled to Lithuania after contesting the results. US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo says that Belarusians should be given the freedoms they deserve and urged authorities not to harm protesters after reports that live ammunition was fired by police. While France's president has told Vladimir Putin that he's very worried about the violence in the country. Demonstrations have been continuing this Wednesday in Belarus, as our regional correspondent Gulliver Cragg explains.
It's very, very hard to know really how many people are taking part because the protests are sporadic. They're in small groups because the police are stopping people from gathering in large numbers on main city squares and things like that. But I think that what's been happening today is the internet's been back on. Last night it was off completely and it was severely disrupted for the past 3 days. And so Belarusians have been finding out throughout the day what's been happening in other places, what's been happening to people who aren't in their immediate circle of close relations, and they've been realizing that people all over the country have been subjected to pretty brutal police treatment, and that people who've been in detention are coming back, some of them being released already and telling stories of being put 20 of them to a cell that's designed for just 5 people, for example, even stories of people being beaten in the cells with police coming in there. And so people are quite horrified and came out onto the streets in several cities in solidarity with those who are still in detention. In particular, women have been protesting, coming out into the streets with flowers. And when they speak to journalists who are there, some people managed to send me little videos and quotations from these women. There's clearly a line that they're taking, which is that they want to say to the police, you should be with us, you should be with the people, and they want to try to persuade the police to stop using these brutal tactics and perhaps stop following orders. And that's why there's this symbolic gesture of coming to them with flowers. That's what's been going on this afternoon, the first day when there have been really what you might call protest actions going on during the day. And scheduled for this evening, the one very influential Belarusian blogger who has been publishing these videos and photos and really setting the tone for what's happening, he's now calling for a mass blockade of the streets of the country this evening, people blocking the streets in their cars. So we'll see how that pans out. Certainly the regime seems to continue to be determined to crack down on the protest movement.